What if I told you that the current president of the United States just reposted a conspiracy theory claiming his opponent is a robot clone, and that over 25,000 people cheered him on for it? No, this isn't the plot of a dystopian satire. This is the real world in 2025, where Donald Trump, once again occupying the White House, is exhibiting behavior that many are beginning to describe as manic, detached from reality, and dangerously unhinged. This article is not about political disagreements. It's about observable behavior and the frightening implications it may have for democracy, foreign policy, and national stability. We will break down what exactly Trump posted, why it matters, and how it reveals not only a cognitive decline, but a complete collapse of any remaining guardrails surrounding presidential power. By the end of this piece, you'll understand why millions are growing increasingly alarmed, not just by Trump's policies but by his mental state. Roughly 12 hours before this article was written, Donald Trump reposted a message on his Truth Social platform that read, "There is no Joe Biden, executed in 2020. Biden clones, doubles, and robotic engineered soulless, mindless entities are what you see." This wasn't posted by some anonymous QAnon troll, it was reposted by the sitting president of the United States, and this wasn't buried in a sea of content. It was prominently visible on his feed, racking up more than 25,000 likes and 500 reposts. Before we dive deeper, if you're into this kind of breakdown, give the video a like, subscribe for more, and let me know your opinion in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Now, on with the video. The conspiracy theory itself is baseless, cruel, and disturbing. It alleges that Joe Biden was executed in 2020 and replaced with artificial body doubles or machines. And while this may sound laughable, the context in which this message was promoted makes it anything but funny. First, this comes just days after Joe Biden publicly revealed a prostate cancer diagnosis. Whether or not you support Biden politically, it's hard to ignore the inhumanity of spreading a death hoax about a man who is literally battling a serious illness. The psychological warfare being waged here is deeply cynical. Second, this isn't the first time Trump has engaged in bizarre conspiratorial behavior. But what makes this episode stand out is the sheer volume and frequency of posts, often in the middle of the night, and the complete detachment from factual reality. We're no longer dealing with coded winks to the fringe. We're watching the president broadcast delusions in real time. This isn't an isolated incident. Over the last few weeks, Trump's Truth Social feed has read less like presidential communication and more like a digital diary unraveling in public. Between endorsements of QAnon-adjacent theories and random outbursts attacking allies and institutions, the behavior is growing more erratic. Consider the following foreign policy confusion. Trump recently claimed he would end the Russia-Ukraine war on day one. Not only has this not happened, Russia has gained more territory since his inauguration, but there is no visible plan to de-escalate the war. Instead, intelligence reports suggest Trump is privately urging the withdrawal of aid to Ukraine, even as civilians are slaughtered in the east. Economic whiplash. During his campaign, Trump promised to lower prices and bring back American manufacturing. But his sudden tariff hikes on countries like Canada and Germany have sparked retaliatory measures. Walmart, Amazon, and Target have all issued warnings of upcoming price increases. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, inflation under Trump's second term has risen 3.8% year over year since January, driven largely by new trade barriers. Allied isolation. Trump has publicly insulted Canada's Prime Minister, refused to engage with the EU Commission, and floated pulling the US out of NATO again. A recent diplomatic memo leaked to Politico revealed that Scandinavian countries are no longer confident in US leadership, citing instability at the executive level. This chaos doesn't appear to be strategic, it appears symptomatic. Symptomatic of a man who is increasingly removed from the consequences of his own actions, isolated in an echo chamber he built himself, where his only source of validation comes from fanatics, flattery, and fringe media. It's important to understand that Trump is no longer getting his information through standard channels. In a now infamous January 2021 phone call with Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, Trump was asked where he was getting his election fraud information. His answer? Trump media. When pressed, he clarified that he wasn't talking about Fox News or Newsmax. He was referring to a self-reinforcing network of online personalities, alternative media sites, and retruths that start on Truth Social and cycle through Telegram, 4chan, and far-right influencers. What this creates is an information loop with no external feedback, no correction, no fact-checking, no reality testing. And when that feedback loop is being driven by paranoia, delusion, and narcissism, you get exactly what we're seeing now, a president who truly appears to believe the things he's reposting. That Joe Biden is dead, that the world is conspiring against him, that he alone holds the truth. You might be tempted to dismiss these posts as mere distractions or red meat for the base, but they reveal something far more serious. Potential cognitive decline, or at the very least, a radical departure from mental and emotional stability. Mental health experts have long speculated about Trump's psychological state, citing signs of narcissistic personality disorder, delusional thinking, and even symptoms consistent with hypomania, grandiosity, compulsive posting, decreased need for sleep, impulsivity. Let's be clear. It is not normal for the President of the United States to publicly repost theories that his opponent was executed and replaced by a soulless robot. It is not normal to call for the imprisonment of civil servants for simply doing their jobs. It is not normal to build a presidency on fantasy, grievance, and paranoia. This isn't just about politics anymore. It's about the integrity of leadership and the ability of a nation to remain grounded in reality when its commander-in-chief is increasingly disconnected from it. Let's play this out. Imagine an international crisis erupts in Taiwan or the Middle East. Can you trust that Trump will respond based on verified intelligence? Or will he rely on a YouTube video he was shown by one of his yes men? Imagine a whistleblower comes forward with credible corruption claims. Can they rely on the office of the special counsel when Trump just appointed a 29-year-old partisan ideologue who has tweeted openly racist statements? Imagine the economy tanks. Will Trump take responsibility? Or will he accuse clone Democrats of sabotaging him from inside Walmart? This is not hyperbole, it's the path we're on, and it's terrifying. At a time when democracy feels fragile and the world feels on edge, Americans deserve a president who is tethered to reality. Trump's recent online behavior isn't just troubling, it's destabilizing. It poses a real and growing threat to the credibility of the office, the safety of our institutions, and the sanity of our public discourse. We need to stop pretending this is normal. It's not, and the longer we do, the harder it will be to undo the damage. Let's talk about Biden's age. Let's talk about policy. Let's have those debates. But let's not let the sheer absurdity of Trump's delusions distract us from the deeper truth. We are watching a president spiral, and if we don't take that seriously, we will all pay the price. If you found this important, share it, talk about it, stay informed, and above all, stay grounded in truth.